Okay, here we are at Finger Park. This job was originally installed by Soft Surfaces, Rob Fleischer, and I think he may have had to come back at one point, repair this job. After they trained me to utilize the closed gap method, I then came back and tried to use that method to repair the gaps. We, as on the other two sites, moved the borders in. On this particular site, an inch on around the perimeter, which would give you per quarter-inch panel compression, should close up the gaps tight 4 panels deep. And then for interior gaps, we would use the closed gap method, utilizing the 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch glue, letting it dry, setting the panels back in place. As you can see, these gaps pulled apart again, so that method did not work. And I don't know if this one can be salvaged. What I have noticed that on these repairs, the smaller sites, I was able to complete the repair with the closed gap method, but these larger sites did not hold up. But as you can see, without the debris in the way, well, obviously the debris is sitting on the cross locks here, but all cross locks are intact. As you can see here, none of the cross locks are tampered with. There's the glue, about an 1/8 of an inch, that I took back 1, 2, 3 rows to compress to close that gap up, and it just didn't work. The tiles consistently shrink all the way to 23 5/8 of an inch, if not less. And this is in the fall time. It's not quite cool yet, so between the hot and cold seasons, they vary. There's still minimal gaps. There's a big one here. So you can see all the cross locks are still there. That's where we tried to glue it, and it just pulled right apart. So the cross locks and the glue weren't enough to hold that in. Now, as you can see here, when I say that I cut the cross locks off, a majority of those cross locks that I mentioned were on the perimeter edge, simply because we cannot take off the excess amount of glue on those ramps. And where I did have to cut those cross locks off, there's one missing there, most of them are intact, is mainly on the perimeter, because the perimeter tile would not allow the flange, the cross lock, to sit underneath. And that is Finger Park. Once again, just came here to repair the site, and it needs to be replaced as of just like the other parks. So